Hey guys, it's Daedalus here, and I'm back with another video. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Mob Psycho 100. This is actually the second part of this series. I'm doing one for each season, so I hope you all enjoy. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. Now, in my last video, I discussed a lot of things about Mob Psycho, and honestly, it's a pretty wild show. If you haven't seen it yet, I totally suggest seeing it. But Mob Psycho is a psychic high schooler that's going through, teenage angst and all that stuff. So, and if you don't understand like why it's all crazy, there's a hidden side to him due to the fact that he hides his emotions to, control his powers, his psychic abilities. He's usually pretty emotionless, and that's what really becomes the turning point for the entire show. He's emotionless. He doesn't really have any emotions. This is, because he did. How do I say it? He hides them or locks them away to control his psychic abilities as well. And obviously, you know what happens when you hide emotions away. If you don't know what happens, let me just explain. They blow up. It's like a ticking time bomb, dude. It's like you have like a timer. It could be set for 1 week or it could be set for 1 month, but at one point or another, your entire self-consciousness is just gonna blow up out of nowhere. It could be completely random, or it could be for like the tiniest little prick to your ego for some reason. There's a whole slew of things that could go wrong for it. You know what I'm saying? Like there could be just a small mistake made by a coworker, and you just lose your shit for no reason at all. It's just, if you don't know what emotion if you've ever done that before, that's what it kind of is. It's more or less, when you hide your emotions or lock them away for whatever reason, eventually they're going to come out one way or the other. And it might be a humongous explosion, or it might be you just falling to the ground crying for no apparent reason. It's like something like that. It's either a flood or an explosion, pretty much. And so Mob Psychos is usually an explosion type of person. So that's kind of the whole basis of the show. He's in, he explodes things when he gets freaking pissed, all types of stuff. But in this second season, his brother finally gets psychic abilities. It's pretty cool, but he kind of goes down the different path than Mob would. Mob, as you know, decided to not use his powers against another human being. And his brother, on the other hand, didn't take that vow. He was more willing to use his powers against people. Actually, he was just starting out with magic power, with his psychic abilities, and I keep almost saying magic powers. That's not what I mean. Anyway, his brother just started out with psychic abilities, and at this point, we also have Dimple, a ghost that's been following Mob Psycho around. So the main character Mob around all the time. Anyway, his brother finally gets these psychic abilities, but they're so weak. You can't really do much except like bend a spoon or two. They're like not all that powerful. So his brother's all like, okay, how can I make it more powerful? And he figures out a way to do it. And one of the ways of doing it is through pain and what was it? Corruption, I think it was that he said. It was pretty much if you do something wrong and you feel guilty about it, it gives you a power up or whatever. That seems like really wrong, but at the same time, like if that's gonna give you a power up, you would think that the other side would too. Pure joy or something along those lines would probably give you a power up as well. Psychic powers seem a lot tied to the emotions, at least in the show. So when get angry or sad or whatever, like super sad. You just get like, more power out of it in the end. It's super weird. I don't get it. And as I said before, our other boy, uh, I can't even remember his name again. You all know it's coming up on the screen. Just hold up a second. Anyway, he's turned good. He sees his brother going down the wrong path and he tries to stop him. And before he really got any power to him, like his little brother, before he got real power to him, the guy in question that I had shown earlier holds out his hand, grabs his brother's hand, and just shows him exactly how much power this guy's working with. And I gotta admit, the illustration was dead on, dude. Any psychic ability person that just felt like that much power go through their fucking body would probably be terrified. Hell, I'd be terrified in his position if I were in his position, dude. It was honestly a good depiction of what it was supposed to be, I feel. Anyway, there was a lot to Mob Psycho Season 2. Eventually, his brother gets kidnapped by an organization of psychics, and Mob loses his goddamn shit. I mean, he is just done. Like, usually Mob has some kind of air of mystic to him. Like, he's not, like, always gonna do what you would expect, you know what I'm saying? So, when his brother gets kidnapped, dude, he starts beating the kidnapper like a fucking rag doll. It is like a punching bag, dude. It was nuts. After all said and done, this kidnapper had to spray him with some cursed cologne or whatever that put him to sleep. This guy wakes up, and all the thugs that were going around trying to beat up his brother, that were all kicked in the, ass due to his brother's overwhelming strength. They're all terrified. They're all like, "Oh shit, what is this man gonna do to us?" It's like, where did he go? And he finds the one guy in question earlier, and again, all this is coming up in pictures on the screen, so don't you worry. Anyway, he finds the guy from earlier, and they come up with a plan to go into this organization and try and save the people there, because it wasn't just his brother anymore. It was also an entire lab crew of kids with psychic abilities. And apparently, what I remember from the organization is that they take kids with psychic abilities and like do some like torture-esque shit to them to awaken their powers. It's kind of freaky, like most animes. I'm not saying it's as freaky as Tokyo Ghoul, but it's pretty freaky. There's definitely freakier animes. It's pretty good for freakiest. Anyway, so they go into this facility and they just start wrecking the place. Dimple takes over a security guard and they start moving throughout the facility, trying to take it down anybody in their path. And the main guys of the facility, like the big honchos, they start sending out, their big honchos, and they start going out one by one up to Mob and all of them. And they just keep getting their ass kicked one by one by one. It is nuts. Oh my god. But my favorite part about all of this is when Reagan shows up. He shows up completely out of the blue, just walks up to the front door, and so he says, "I'm here to talk to my subordinate," right? And everybody at the front door, all the fucking, soldiers and shit with all the psychic powers, they're all like, "Subordinate? Oh shit, you're the boss!" And they just like let him walk in through the front door. It is insane. Like they just like show him around. It's like, okay, we'll take you here, take you there, take you there, take you there. Just like he just lets out all the prisoners. Fucking leaves. Or not leaves, but he's about to leave before, the head honchos, like the biggest one there, kind of was in the hallway when he walked out with Mob and all the other ones. So it was it was just funny. It was funny as hell. You know, because like, who knew that just his presence alone would be enough to help, you know, kickstart a jailbreak? Oh my god. Anyway, it goes into this full fight between the bad guys, good guys, etc. You know, and as you probably know earlier, in my last video, I explained that Reigen doesn't really have any powers psychically wise. So he's not like, he doesn't really have any powers, but Mob does. So what happens is Bob's in a struggle, so he doesn't really want to fight, but he kind of feels like he has to. And Reigen looks over and he's all like, no, you don't have to fight, you can run, literally to somebody else like me. And so those words alone allowed Mob to send spiritual energy into Reigen's body, and Reigen just kicks all of their asses. Oh my god. It was funny as hell, to be honest, because he's over here like, what are you doing? Like, he doesn't actually even notice what he's doing until like the last few minutes of the fight. Like I said, this anime is a lot similar to One Punch Man. So yeah. With all that being said, guys, I hope you all liked the video. Comment, like it if you like the content, subscribe if you want to see more. With that all being said, Daedalus Oversight, signing off.